All right, breaking news. Pope Leo XIV is continuing to piss off MAGA within his first week of being the new pope, and that's because he's taking hardline stances on key issues, and usually his stances are antithetical to those of MAGA, or in other words, he has the normal views of a Catholic pope who is an empathetic human being, and that is pissing MAGA off. I mean, to any Trump supporters watching this video, can you point to me the Bible verse that says, evict the poor and bully the weak, or the Bible verse that says, come up with nicknames for thy neighbor and bully thy enemy? Or I love the Bible verse that says, let's just hoard wealth without redistributing a penny ever, and let's grab women by the you-know-what. All of MAGA's core values are antithetical to Christianity and to Catholicism especially, and I think I can demonstrate that throughout this video, and by showing you the words of the new Pope, Pope Leo XIV, versus the words of MAGA. I mean, before I even play any videos, let's read this article. MAGA says Pope Leo may be American, but he's not America first. I love that MAGA, Trump supporters, act like the arbiter of who can be pro-America or America first when they are the very last thing from it. They will support Russia, they will put America last and try to nuke the economy. But this reads, Catholicism has rarely been more prominent in U.S. politics, as the Trump admin openly embraces advisors and officials who proudly say faith has shaped their views. Again, can they point me to any of those Bible verses that say, evict the poor, bully the weak? But any jubilation on the Make America Great Again right now about the new Pope this week quickly dissipated as key voices from Donald Trump's MAGA movement came to a disappointed conclusion. They don't think the new Pope is America first. They said a lot of wild stuff about him. Little is known about the political leanings of Pope Leo XIV, born Robert Francis Prevost in Chicago, but we know that he's empathetic. He's like, maybe you shouldn't put people in camps. Maybe you should have due process when you deport people. Maybe Russia shouldn't invade Ukraine, and maybe people shouldn't be dying en masse. He has voiced concerns for the poor and immigrants, and chosen a name that may reference a more liberal church leadership. And he appears to have supported the liberal-leaning Pope Francis and criticized the U.S. president's policies on social media. One more time, he voiced concerns for the poor and the immigrants, and now MAGA is calling him a woke Marxist pope. Absolutely insane. By the way, make sure you drop a like, make sure you subscribe. If you check out this chart, in Q1 of 2025, we beat Megyn Kelly, Charlie Kirk, Tucker Carlson, but we did not beat Fox News. So scroll down, hit subscribe, and let's continue to push. This reads, quote, I mean, it's kind of jaw-dropping. Trump's former chief strategist Steve Bannon told the BBC on Friday, quote, it's shocking to me that a guy could be selected to be the Pope that had the Twitter feed and the statements he's had against American senior politicians. By the way, his Twitter feed was basically saying, people are kind of cruel towards immigrants. We should be more empathetic. And that's the woke pope. That's why they're calling him a woke pope. Now, I'm going to read what Pope Leo did today, but really quickly, check out this clip.
He's wading into issues that are big here in the United States. He's waded into the issue on climate change, advocated that it is real. He's waded into the issue on immigration. He called child separation. He's either tweeted directly on this or retweeted others who have expressed these sentiments, just talking about how awful child separation was, denouncing racism, supporting dreamers. And then there's a more recent post that he made, and this one is directly rebuking J.D. Vance. It links to an article, and it links to a comment from J.D. Vance, an interview that Vance did on Fox News, where he said there is a Christian concept that you love your family, and then you love your neighbor, and then you love your community, and then you love your fellow citizens, and then after that, prioritize the rest of the world. A lot of the far left has completely inverted that. And the new Pope, Pope Leo XIV, retweeted the article and said, J.D. Vance is wrong. This is the title of the article. Jesus does not ask us to rank our love for others. Ambassador, I'll ask you.
These were the hardcore comments that Steve Bannon was referring to. Steve Bannon is so soft that he can't even take that. The Pope's brother, John Prevost, told the New York Times that he thinks his brother would voice his disagreements with the president. Quote, I know he's not happy with what's going on with immigration, he said. Quote, I know that for a fact. How far he'll go with it is only one's guess, but he won't just sit back. Don't think he'll be the silent one. Recent survey data shows that about 20% of Americans identify as Catholic, so this new Pope may be putting his thumb on the scale to sway the view of Catholics. I mean, look what he did today. He came out and condemned Russia's imperialist invasion of Ukraine, beginning the new Pope's political stances. I mean, This isn't even a political stance. It's a human rights stance, but it is inherently political due to today's landscape and due to the way that Trump will likely respond. How long do you guys think it'll take Trump to start attacking the new pope? Let me know in the comment section below. Genuinely, take your bets. Let me know in the comment section below. Will it be within a week? Will it take 6 months, somewhere in between, 2 weeks? Let me know. I want to see, and then we can revisit when it happens, and we'll see who was right. Pope Leo was appointed just earlier this week on May 8th. 2 days into it, he is now already condemning Russia. By clearly naming Russia's imperialist aspirations of Ukraine, the new pope's comments come as a departure from his predecessor's position on the war. While Pope Francis was widely seen as a reformer who led the church with compassion and humanity, his legacy on Ukraine is more complex. Throughout Russia's full-scale invasion, many Ukrainians viewed Pope Francis' statements as failing to clearly assign responsibility for the war. His description of Ukrainians and Russians as brothers was perceived as painfully out of touch amid Moscow's brutal war. Additionally, while Pope Francis repeatedly called for peace, he also failed to call out Russia as the aggressor or to condemn Russian President Vladimir Putin, but now Pope Leo is trying to play a decisive role in how the church shapes global politics. So read this. President Vladimir Zelensky recently congratulated the new pope on his appointment, saying, quote, "Ukraine deeply values the Holy See's consistent position in upholding international law, condemning the Russian Federation's military aggression against Ukraine, and protecting the rights of innocent civilians. As leader of the Catholic Church, Pope Leo will play a decisive role in shaping how the religious institution responds to Europe's largest war since World War II, and unfortunately, that makes him an enemy of MAGA. They think that he's not America first, and they are going crazy." On Bannon's War Room podcast, known for its hard-right pro-Trump bent, one guest after another heaped criticism of the new pope. Quote, "This guy has been massively embraced by the liberals," said Ben Harnwell. Quote, "He is one of their own. He has Pope Francis' DNA in him." Jack Posobiec, another MAGA commentator dialing in from Rome, was blunt. Quote, "This choice of the American cardinal was done as a response, as a message to President Trump. They're declaring war on the Pope." Why is MAGA declaring war on the Pope? The full picture of what led to Pope Leo's selection on Thursday is still emerging, and church decisions don't map neatly onto U.S. politics. That's a very America-centric view to think that people are choosing the Pope just solely based on U.S. politics, but still, watchers around the world have poured over Pope Leo's social media profiles in search of clues about his leanings and beliefs. An X account under his name, with tweets going back as far as 2015, shares links to criticism of Trump's approach to immigration and hints at other political views, such as stricter gun control. In February, the account sharply rebuked the U.S. Vice President by posting a link to an opinion piece titled, "J.D. Vance is wrong. Jesus doesn't ask us to rank our love for others." The account also posted a link to a letter from Pope Francis.
What do you make of that stuff?
So let me just underscore that what he is saying is at the core of Catholic teaching, of Christian teaching, of the gospel. The fundamental teaching of Jesus is to love our neighbors. Period. End of conversation. The neighbor is not to be reduced or judged because of documentation status, gender, sexual orientation, race. No, and so if he is going to do this and continue to do this, which I have no doubt now he'll have a megaphone to do this, this is where I think that also this kind of, I would say, the best of our American spirit is going to shine at the Vatican, which is not America first, but America cares.
Very, very well said, and I'll leave it at that. One more time, if you could subscribe to the channel, if you could drop a like, that would mean the world to me. You don't have to, but it would mean the world to me. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video. We've built a beautiful community over the past few years, and we will continue to grow. We will continue to make moves. I'll make a video soon about my meeting with Obama, and we could chat more about how we can reform the space and the party. Love you guys. See you in the next video. Peace out.